And then we'll walk round the compound. We'll see some tigers and hopefully Pete's, and maybe we will hear some squeaks. And then Derek will ramble. Z. 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 Hi, Zara. Hi. How are you? What do you know, baby? How you feeling? She's like pretty good. Since Ezra has been quarantined. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Hi, baby. Yeah. You mean since Ezra had his blueberries removed, he's been in the lockdown so that he can heal. So these girls aren't, irritating the sack, so to speak. And I'm sure that Zara is probably just like, this is great. This is great. If he could have his balls removed more often, I'd be fine with that. Well, Zara, you can really only have to do that procedure once. And she's like, there's two. Remove one, quarantine, all right? And then when he's better, hey, remove the other, more quarantine. And it's like, Zara. I think that goes against medical ethics. When it comes to him, there are no ethics. It might be one of those kind of love-hate things, or maybe she just has like a really deep crush on him, and she just doesn't know how to express herself. I know that people are probably going to be like, oh, I think you're right. I ship it. I ship it. I don't even know what that means. I know that it means like I put them into categories of romance, hypothetically. But I don't understand why the word ship. Can someone explain that to me? One of you Tumblrettes out there? What are you Tumblr people? Can you explain that to me? Why the word ship? What is the connotation of that? That just seems silly. What do you put them in the boats? Huh? Oh, is this like a Noah's Ark reference? Maybe that. Maybe that. Well, hey, we're kind of the last of our kind. Looks like we gotta start repopulating things. Hey, you wanna go ship it? What? Jeez. Is that what that means? I think that's what it is. I think it's a weird sexual biblical reference. That's what that means. Hello all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Hi! I know that it's been a little bit of time since we've talked. And I just wanted to say that I've missed you, and I'm happy that we now have this time to be able to chat with each other. Hi, Mr. Milo. How are you? It's nice in here. It is nice in here, but then again, it's not that bad outside. Hi! Hi, baby. Hi, Sass. You sniff the old hand? The old hand-a-roo? Yeah. Winds coming from the north. We just had a frontal boundary push through, although most of the rain that's associated with it is off to the east. Either way, we got cooler temperatures, we've got some extra cloud cover. It was supposed to get up past the hundreds, today, but that front pushed all that hot air down to the south, and it was like, no, 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 not today. And we're like, thanks, front. And then like he just kind of like tips his hat and goes, my lady, I could be your angel or your devil. I think that cold front is kind of like an otaku. I think he's kind of like a little bit of a neckbeard. You see like just the clouds. One of the big ones, it's got a fedora. A waifu pillow. Just a big, gigantic waifu pillow. Me and the lady. Storming around. Oh. She's so kawaii. Like, this is a bizarre webcast. I know! I gotta get it out of my system. I have not casted. I've been posting casts because I had to film a bunch all in like a short span of time. I haven't actually filmed any casts for a few weeks. I've been out of the pocket, so to speak. So, forgive me if I have a little bit, pent up cast energy. Got them cast balls. That's the theme of today. It's balls. There's one right there. Why are you like this? I am so ashamed to know you. Hi. Hi. Oh my goodness. I guess Pawi and Shanti have been flirting. I guess they have been flirting. Which is pretty cute. I saw Pawi, he was up and he was walking around and he was playing with his ball. And this is another thing, because it was really hot. Like up until, well, it's just been hot recently. He got moved up to the house because Heidi was very worried about him being out here. Moved him up to the sunroom. He got better. Moved him back out. And then he's going around and he's like hopping up on his ball, papping it around. He's snuffling at Shanti. Just being just like, I'm out, I'm back. I gotta get to my girlfriend. He's whistling. Ooh. Hi. Hi. Hello. No touch of the butt. No touch of the butt. No scratches? Butt scratches? Ooh. Alright, we'll just have to settle for Pete's. We'll just sit here for a little bit. We'll just sit here for a little bit. Excuse me, I was focused on those. I was focusing on those Pete's. You get back down to where you were. What did that just accomplish? He's like, no have a the butt, no have a the Pete's. You get neither of them from me, sir. You get neither of them. Hey, mister. Hi. How are you? Oh. Went and saw the Mr. Rogers documentary. Yeah. Went and saw it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's one of the best things I've seen in as long as I can remember. Tremendously powerful movie. Extremely uplifting. I mean, when you have a thing like a movie where the trailer of the movie spawned like dozens of like reaction videos. Hold on. But yeah, there were a bunch of different YouTube channels that would do reaction videos to just the trailer. And then they would be, moved just by that. So if you can imagine, if just the trailer, has the ability to kind of get people in a place. Hi, mister. How are your balls? I mean, not, oh, I'm sorry, too soon? Yeah, they're not there anymore. People might be like, oh my gosh, why would you do like that? Why would you do the thing where there's endangerment and stuff and species? Heidi actually touches upon that point very well. She made a very long Instagram post about that. She talks about it, so if you want to go kind of check that out, you can go to Heidi Berry Krahn on Instagram. And she does a good job of explaining those types of things. I know. Pour one for the homies. But they got sent off to the genetic lab. So, I mean, you're talking about, the possibility of, Ezra in some way, shape, or form contributing very mightily to conservation efforts in the future. I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, I think that there's going to be more than one way to make a tiger eventually, all right? There's that making whoopee fun way, and then there's the petri dish way. So, which it's actually, it's people like, oh, doing that thing, that's, that's a popular activity. But a lot of times it seems like with tigers, it's like, do you like it? Because it gets kind of loud and just violent. It's kind of crazy. Doesn't seem like that's something that, would seem like the go-to pastime. But then again, they're tigers. So, who am I to judge? Anyway, when I saw the Mr. Rogers documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor? I had to clear my throat. And it was wonderful. And I really, it's hard to, so it's almost kind of like hard to properly describe it without sounding kind of, I guess, trite. Maybe a little hokey or hacky, stuff like that. But it's so true. It was just nice, and it was just uplifting. It was about the life, or the professional life, I should say, and then of course, like a lot of the behind the scenes and personal stuff of Fred Rogers, which I didn't realize his middle name, McFeely, Fred McFeely Rogers. That's fascinating, and it's fantastic. I love that. And how much of like his own kind of personal life he put into just different, his characters and like his puppets and different stuff like that. But it was amazing to see how much thought and how considerate he was of his programming and what he was trying to accomplish. And really how he tried to imbibe every one of his shows with an important message, and trying to communicate and converse to young people in a way that they would understand, but then at the same time, like talking about like real things and real issues and adult stuff, and trying to help little ones navigate through life and try to help them understand the decisions of grown-ups and understand things that might be scary. Or look at that snuffly face. Look at that snuffly, stinky face. Oh my gosh. You are marvelous. You are marvelous. But it was really awesome how much he put like his education to work. He was a deeply spiritual man. He was a deeply faithful and religious man. And he was a Presbyterian minister, but he also studied psychology, and he used his platform on public television to, I guess, imbibe young people almost with like a communal sense of spirituality without invoking any sort of kind of metaphysical thing. It actually, it was a very kind of like secular, for all kind of presentation for message. And that was a conscious choice, because he wanted to be able to reach as many people as possible. And he, talking about the notion that, spirituality can be something that can be a bit more lacking in people's lives. And when you talk about stuff like that, again, that doesn't necessarily mean the adoption of metaphysical beliefs or beliefs in any of the dogmatic or supernatural elements of things. No, spirituality can just be the thing that makes you, that gives you character, that gives you purpose. The notion of soul can be metaphorical and archetypal. I mean, if it is something that's more, of like religion and grace, great. That's awesome. If it's not, you can still have a spiritual aspect to your life. Like, for instance, something like an example, like a big part of the spirituality of my life is this place, and having that thing that's larger than myself, and having that sense of responsibility, and the amount of character and moralism that I have gained, that I continue to gain from doing this, from working here and working with the people and working with the animals. That's a big part of my overall spiritual health. But that's something that he put into his work. And to try to speak honestly and earnestly, matter of factly and constructively to young people. And how important just simple things are. Just family, love. Yeah, it got you. Oh my gosh, there were probably like 4, 5, 6 different times where there were a good amount of tears. Not because it's like, this is so sad, it's so sad. It's just like, this is incredibly powerful. It's incredibly moving. Hi. Hi, mister. Hi, boys. If I come down over here, and if I just like come, will you come and see me? Hi, Ra. Ra, Ra. Ra. Do we got good Ra or not so good Ra? Oh, maybe Zoops is going to come over. Or maybe he's just going to get up and lick his butt. Gotta pay the toll. Hi. I know, Zoops, I know. Hi, bud. It's okay. We're still working through some stuff. But that's okay. That's okay. Hi. Hi, mister. I'd come and see you, Zuby, but I think that would kind of disrupt maybe the peace. We'll work on things in a little bit more. I know people, and I know that a lot of you are you're concerned about that, but don't be. It's okay. These things happen. And I was talking to Heidi, and like she has even had weird times with Ra in the past. It was actually years ago when we were still going into the enclosure, and like Ra started to actually become kind of huffy and weird and aggressive with Heidi, and that's like the signal that Heidi knew. She's like, okay, that's my cue. I am not going to be able to come in here anymore. And that was very personal, and it was very sad, and it affected her. You know, that was her baby. And all of a sudden he started acting like that. And he wasn't like that with me. But, you know, now he absolutely loves his mommy. Loves. Like, is a bowl of pudding in her hands. And it kind of flipped to where now him and I have this kind of weird kind of thing. I was talking to him yesterday, and it was me and him and Zubiri, and we were all three of us getting along perfectly, wonderfully, swimmingly. So it just is a floating kind of thing. And people sometimes say just like, maybe it's a hat, maybe it's a sunglasses, maybe it really goes a lot deeper than that. It's a combination of a few different things where it's like Ra has some conflicted emotions, possibly about whether or not I'm spending as much time with him as he thinks that I should. And also he has absolutely become a grown-up big boy, both physically and mentally. So he is exerting his dominance and letting me and everyone know who the boss is. Sees me as some sort of, like, I'm another male, a large male in his life. And then he wants to tell me in no uncertain terms, like, hey, I am a boss. And then there's also that weird kind of thing where it's just like, I want to keep you from Zubiri. I almost want to, like, he is my pride. You don't have access to him. I will not allow you to have access to him. Hi, Mr. Lakai. How are you? Hi. How are you? You got something on your lip. Wonder if that was from something that you were eating, or if maybe you got a little blood booger. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. Apollo must be below. I was feeding these guys last night. Apollo was so animated. And he was very, very colorful when it came to taking his food. But anywho, back to, won't you be my neighbor? I want to see it again, like multiple times. I really, it was very impactful to me. And I think that there's a lot of very strong lessons that anyone can take from the moralistic philosophy of Fred Rogers and the way that he chose to live his life. and the way that he chose to present information to people who truly needed it. Some of our most vulnerable, you know. And just the way that he did that. It really got me thinking about a lot of different things and taking a lot of different bits and pieces and stock and elements of my life. Kind of, you know, is this something that I need? Is this a thought process that is helping? Or can I just kind of do away with it? Maybe spend more time prioritizing a smaller number of things that are truly important and kind of doing away with some of the other things that aren't. Slowing myself down, allowing myself more time to breathe, more time to have silence. And that was another thing. Some of the stuff that he would just say and how he thought silence was a gift. And if you notice, a lot of the episodes, he would use and utilize silence as a calming kind of thing and a reflective thing. Because it's important to be a thinking person and to be a cognizant person. It's important to understand your feelings. And oftentimes, in order to do that, you need to have peace. You need to have quiet. And especially in today's world. And everything is so ingestible. And everything is so fast-paced. Well, we have disposable this and quick forms of that. So, seeing the benefits of just quiet reflection and just how much of that you just need every day, honestly. That's something I'm actually trying to do a little bit more of. And then there was, I love that they talked, because this is the other thing. They talked about him and his personal life and his family, and he was the same guy. He was the same guy on and off camera. Like, it wasn't a character, that was him. Meet the pita. Meet the pita in your flower pot. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, sugar pie. How are you? But yeah, that was the same guy. And just, you know, the notion of just being yourself. And I like you just the way that you are. They talked about his, like he was a grown up. He wasn't like some kind of, you know, he was definitely an eccentric man with quirks, but he could have grown-up conversations, and he had adult sense of humor at different times. Like, he was a person who just had a very deep conviction about, you know, how to, oh my gosh, look at that, how to communicate with children. But it also actually delved into his own, like he did actually have personal struggle as far as like how much he maybe had self-doubt over whether or not his work had true impact. And so like he was certainly, you know, human. He did have fallibility. And he did have fear and anxiety, and his family kind of talked about that, and it, you know, made him that much more relatable. And I liked what they did, because then, like, near the end, they were talking also about the notion of like how especially with like maybe like a Generation Z, or not Generation Z, sorry, Generation X going into millennials. Like definitely the two generations who probably were impacted the most. Gen Xers and millennials, because I mean the young people now, those are Generation Z people or whatever. Why? I don't know. They're kind of that everyone gets a medal generation, the trophy generation, given things that maybe they haven't earned. And they talk about that, about how there was like news, they had news pundits saying just like, should we blame Mr. Rogers in part for contributing to this degradation of our society and our young people, and how they think because he told everyone that you're special. And people interpreted that as basically saying, no, you don't have to try and you don't have to put effort in order to achieve things, or you know, like you should receive accolades that you haven't earned, because that's what the everyone gets a medal thing is all about. And I agree that that whole everyone gets a medal thing is a damaging thing. I don't agree with it, and I remember that was a big part, that was a part of my childhood, like participation trophies and stuff like that. And I do think that trying to teach young people like healthy competition and to try to win and to try to, I think that that's good. I think that that's good. But then also importantly to try to teach them like how to play the game and how to be someone that you want to play games with, and the way in which you play, because oftentimes games and sports and stuff like that, they can be very analogous for how you live your life and how you approach the challenges of life, how you coordinate tackling those challenges with other people. So games and sports and things of that nature can be very, very telling. Very, very telling in a lot of different ways. I don't think that Mr. Rogers telling people that you are special and I like you just the way you are, and they go into this, I don't think that that was the same. It was different. Because, again, it goes back into almost that spiritual aspect, that ministry, that faith thing that he kind of brought to the table. And what he was trying to basically say, and again, and I'll give the whole thing where it's like you can either look at this from a metaphysical standpoint or you can actually look at it from a metaphorical and archetypal standpoint. Either one is fine, because honestly the outcome is this. Oh, we hit the max recording size, so it's going to go into 2 videos. So again, metaphysical, metaphorical, whatever your flavor is, that's fine. That's fine. But when he's saying that you're special, and I like you just the way you are, he's basically trying to remind people that they do have like inner light. And if you are more of like a religious branded person, then you would probably say that that is almost like you have inherent grace, and that you have like an inherent like divine spark inside of you. Or if you want to look at things from a more secular perspective, you could also say that we all have an innate sense of moral character, that we do have an evolved sense of morality, you know, of humanistic purpose. And that's kind of like, don't forget that we all have that we all have that goodness inside of us. That's a big part of what that is. And I like you. You don't, and this was a great thing, one of the best quotes that I've ever heard anyone ever say. What that really boils down to and what that means. And he was saying this to he was doing a commencement speech for graduates of Dartmouth. And one of the last things that he said, and it was within a year of him actually passing away. And what the whole "I like you just the way you are, and I think that you are special," how you can break that whole thing down, was the quote where he said, "Just remember, or always remember, that you don't have to do anything sensational for people to love you." That's fantastic. If that is not such an amazing and wonderful, just kind of baseline kind of code for how to approach your life and how to prioritize the things in your life, I don't know. Like there's like a few things. It's like if I were to sit there and come up with a list of like, okay, the top 5 phrases that you've heard that can be of like a moral guide for you, like that would probably be in there at this point in my life. You don't have to do anything sensational for people to love you. Always remember that. Always remember that. And that you have inherent worth and that you have value. Yeah. She's been peeking around the corner at me. She's been peeking. She's like, "I love you just the way you taste." Ah! Oh my gosh. Welcome to the land of murder believe. Get on the trolley. Bling bling. Hi baby. Old lady, still got it. All right. Well, that was a really good I shouldn't say that was a fun one. I shouldn't be the one that actually says that it was a good one, because that kind of seems a little bit self-indulgent. That was really good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and speak for the group. No. That's not my decision to make. That's your decision to make. Which I always love hearing what you have to say in the comment section below. So head on down there and let me know. If you have the opportunity to go and see that documentary, I would highly recommend it. So yeah. Hashtag Dorbist Award. As always, thank you for watching this episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. I'll see you on Thursday. All right. See you later, neighbors.